in different national, international journals. He participated in national, international conferences. Then he also has completed a research project, which is funded by University Grant Commission (UGC). So we are lucky to have Jondre sir to deliver today's lecture. I welcome you, sir, and you can start, sir. Jondre sir, you can share your screen if you want to share it.
Yes. Thank you, sir. I am audible, sir?
Yes, yes, you are audible.
Thank you.
Okay, it is visible. It
I
is
first of
visible.
all thankful to principal of the SM. Yeah. First of all, I am thankful to Sundaram More Arts, Commerce and Science College for inviting me for this online guidance program to the TY based students. Myself, Dondale Valmik Rakma, Assistant Professor in Chemistry, Arts, Commerce and Science College, Srivardhan. For the today's presentation, the outline is introduction, syllabus, question paper pattern, and question bank. So regarding the semester 6, we have four major subjects: physical chemistry, inorganic chemistry, organic, and analytical chemistry. So from that, the physical chemistry is the first paper with paper and one indicator chemistry paper first, that is physical. Now regarding the syllabus in physical chemistry, we have 4 units. So out of which the first unit is electrochemistry. So in the electrochemistry already we discuss in detail what is meant by the electrochemistry. So in that we consider the interconversion of chemical into electrical energy or electrical into the chemical energy. Then in that again we consider the concept of activity and activity coefficient. So initially we consider concentration term, and in electrochemistry hello.
हा सर, येतोय आवाज. सर तुमचा आवाज थोडासा मध्ये मध्ये ब्रेक होतोय. आय थिंक
हाँ सर,
नेटवर्क.
रेंज गिरी होती रेंज.
ओके ओके.
हाँ नेटवर्क का इशू हो रहा है.
ओके, कंटिन्यू.
तर स्क्रीन दिसतंय का आता?
नाही, अजून नाही दिसत आहे सर.
नाही दिसत.
परत शेअर करावं लागेल तुम्हाला. तुम्ही डिस्कनेक्ट झाले होते ना.
एक मिनिट. आवाज येतोय आता?
हो येतोय सर. येतोय सर.
ओके. So regarding the electrochemistry, uh, the concentration term we replace with the activity and activity coefficient. So activity is shown by the symbol A and activity coefficient is shown by the gamma symbol. So from for the 1:1 type of electrolyte, 2:1 type of electrolyte, or 1:2 type of electrolyte, we can calculate the activity for the by using the formula A is equal to x raised to x into y raised to y into m raised to x plus y into gamma raised to x plus y. So here, when we consider the HCl as an electrolyte, that is 1:1 type of electrolyte. So regarding this, we can consider H plus and Cl minus. So x is equal to 1 and y is equal to 1. So by using this, we can calculate the activity of different types of the electrolyte. So on this topic, question may be asked for MCQ. So the activity of that dash, activity of the HCl is that dash. So in this way, the question asked in the MCQ. Similarly, next point is calculation of ionic strength. Mu is equal to 1/2 summation of Mi/Zi square. So here, M indicate the molarities and Z indicate the charge carried by the ion. So we can, when we consider the H plus and Cl minus, so H plus having the +1 charge and Cl minus having the -1 charge. So here we have to consider the charge carried by the ion. And regarding the calculation of activity, we have to consider the number of the cations and anions. But here, in case of ionic strength, we have to consider the charge carried by the ion. Then we can calculate the ionic strength for the given electrolyte. Then similarly, on the basis of ionic strength, we can calculate the mean molar ionic strength or mean ionic activity coefficient by using the equation log of gamma plus minus, which is equal to -a z plus z minus square root of mu. So here gamma plus minus indicate the mean ionic activity coefficient, and here A is the constant, and for water it is 0.509, and here Z plus indicate the again the charge carried by Z plus indicate the number of cations and Z minus indicate the charge carried by the anion, and mu is nothing but the ionic strength. So this is nothing but the Debye-Hückel limiting law. So on this Debye-Hückel limiting law, the question may be asked for 5 marks. Calculate the mean ionic activity coefficient. Then in that question, here the answer of this question is always less than 1. So the mean ionic activity coefficient is always less than 1. So we get the answer like 0.78 or 0.76. So this answer is when we got the answer more than 1, then we can say the answer is wrong. So for this, the answer is always less than 1. The next point is classification of cells. So in that we consider chemical cells and concentration cells. So chemical cells, in that we are using the 2 different electrodes, cathode and anode, both are different. And here the EMF of cell is due to the particularly chemical reaction taking place within a cell. And regarding concentration cell, here we are using the cathode and anode, both are same, but they having the different activity or different concentration, but both are same. Both the electrodes or electrolyte, both are same. Hence, in case of concentration cell, here we can use the that E0 concentration for E0 cell is equal to 0, because both electrolyte and electrode both are same. Hence, the E0 cell for concentration cell is equal to 0. Then in the classification, electrode concentration cell reversible to cation and reversible to anion. On this topic also, regarding gas electrode, we can consider the electrode concentration cell reversible to cation and reversible to anion. Expression for 5 marks. And here we have to first of all mention the half cell reaction at cathode, half cell reaction at anode. From that we have to mention the net cell reaction, and from net cell reaction we can calculate the reaction quotient. And with the help of reaction quotient, with the use of Nernst equation, we can calculate the EMF of the cell by using the Nernst equation. So this expression is for the 5 marks. Similarly, the other point is amalgam concentration cell. So in the amalgam concentration cell, we can say first of all what is meant by the amalgam concentration cell. So when the metal are highly reactive, we have to use the amalgam of that metal with the mercury. So we can say the amalgam concentration cell. Then next, electrolyte concentration cell without transference, reversible to cation and reversible to anion. Here, without transference means use of the salt bridge in between the two half cells, or two half cells are connected by the salt bridge. That is without transference, which means presence of salt bridge and absence of liquid junction potential. So regarding the electrolyte concentration cell with transference, reversible to cation and anion. So in that, with transference means the absence of salt bridge and presence of liquid junction potential. So in the electrolyte concentration cell with transference, reversible to cation and anion, on this topic, generally out of these two, reversible to cation or anion. So on this topic, always question will be asked from these 2 points, reversible to anion. Then in the same chapter, another point is applied electrochemistry. So in that first point is the decomposition potential and experimental determination. So regarding this, first of all, we have to mention the what is meant by the decomposition potential and its experimental method to calculate the decomposition potential with the help of graph. So here decomposition potential, in that we can mention to carry out the smooth and continuous electrolysis process, we have to use the voltage or that potential required to carry out this smooth and continuous electrolysis process in nothing but the decomposition potential. And again, experimental determination, in that we have to draw the diagram for 2 marks, and then definition for 1 mark, and explanation for the 2 marks. Same point is here, over voltage and experimental determination. Again, here we have to mention the what is meant by the hydrogen over voltage and its experimental determination for the 4 marks. Again, in that the 2 marks for the diagram and 2 marks for the explanation. Then factors affecting on decomposition potential, that is nature of electrode, nature of the electrolyte, and the concentration, temperature. So these are the 3 factors regarding the decomposition potential. And similarly, factors affecting on over voltage, that is here we can say the current density, effect of current density, then similarly effect of pH, effect of temperature, effect of concentration. These are the some factors which affect the over voltage. So again, here question may be asked regarding this for the 5 marks, what are the factors affecting on decomposition potential and the over voltage. Then similarly, Tafel theory of hydrogen over voltage, in that we have to mention the 4 points regarding the hydrogen over voltage. And again, here for different metals, we get the graph regarding the over voltage versus current density, that is I. And the Tafel equation is eta is equal to A plus B log I. Here eta is the current, eta is the hydrogen over voltage, A and B are the constant, and I is the current density. So again, here on this topic, question regarding this theory question may be asked, explain the Tafel theory of hydrogen over voltage, and similarly the problem based on the Tafel equation. So regarding this chapter, we have three problems. First of all, problem based on the Debye limiting law. Second is problem based on the transfer. Calculate the transference number for cation and anion. And similarly, third point is problem based on the Capel equation for the 5 marks. So regarding this, out of 2 or 3 problems may be asked in the examination regarding this chapter. Then second chapter or second unit is polymers. So here again we consider poly means many and meres means parts or units. So here polymers are nothing but the molecule of, it is a molecule of high molecular weight compound made up from the many units or many repeating units or many repeating parts. So regarding this, we have to consider first of all the what is meant by degree of polymerization. So in that the definition is there, and then classification of polymers based on the source, we can say. Second is the based on the structure, and third is the based on the thermal response. So again here the based on the thermal response, there are 2 types, thermoplastic and thermosetting. So regarding the thermoplastic, we can say this is made by the addition polymerization reaction, and thermosetting polymer, that name itself indicate once we prepare that polymer, we cannot reshape that polymer, so that is a thermosetting polymer. And again here we can consider regarding the thermoplastic, the example is polyvinyl resins, and in case of thermosetting we can mention the example of bakelite as a polymer. So here we have to mention the 5 points regarding thermoplastic and thermosetting polymers with one example from thermoplastic and thermosetting. Then another point is calculation of molar mass by using the number average molar mass and by using the weight average molar mass. So regarding the number average, summation of xi mi to the summation of ni, and for weight average molar mass, summation of xi mi square to the summation of ni mi. So on this topic, problem may be asked for 5 marks. Calculate the number average and weight average molar mass by using this formula. Or similarly, theory question may be asked regarding this what is meant by the number average and weight average molar mass. So in that we have to mention the formula, and this number average molar mass is a colligative property which depends on the number of molecules and independent on the size of the polymer molecules. Regarding the weight average molar mass, this weight average molar mass is considered as a in that depend on the both the number of polymer molecules and also the size or shape of the polymer molecules. That is nothing but the weight average molar mass, and in that example is light scattering for weight average. Then other important point is polydispersity index, that is PDI, which is nothing but the ratio of weight average to the number average molar mass. So here on this topic, question may be asked in the MCQ for 1 mass. So PDI, when the polydispersity index is 1, then we can say this is nothing but the monodispersed polymers, and in that examples are natural polymers or proteins or nucleic acids. So here the question may be asked regarding this. For natural polymers, the polydispersity index is dash, or the dash is the example of monodispersed polymers. Similarly, when the polydispersity index is greater than 1, at that time these are considered as a polydispersed polymers, and in that example is the synthetic polymers. So this is an important point regarding the MCQ for the 5th question. Then another point is methods of determining molar masses of polymers. So in that we are using the viscometry, that is Oswald viscometer and Obelod viscometer. So again here we have to consider the diagram for Oswald viscometer. And again here we have to mention regarding the Oswald viscometer, its capillary size, then bulb, a upper mark, lower mark, and similarly here we consider the relative viscosity, specific viscosity, and again the intrinsic viscosity we have to mention in this point. Then again another point is Mark having equation which is nothing but the intrinsic viscosity, which is equal to K into M raised to alpha. Here K is the constant and M is the molecular weight. So by using this equation, we can calculate the molecular weight of the given polymer with the help of Mark-Having equation. And again, problem may be asked on this topic regarding the calculation of molecular weight with the use of Mark-Having equation. Then next part of this chapter is light emitting polymers. So in the light emitting polymers, we consider the light emitting diodes, that is LED light emitting diodes, which are particularly used in the LED TVs or LED lights, that is diodes are used. So in that again the question may be asked regarding the methods of preparation and its application in daily life regarding the TV screen or a laptop screen, or we can also consider in the mobile screens. These are some applications regarding the light emitting diodes. And in case of the methods of preparation, we have to consider the diagram for 2 marks and again the theory parts for the 3 marks. Then in the same topic, there is another question, antioxidants and stabilizers. So here we can consider the primary and secondary scavengers, and similarly the stabilizers, that may be the temperature UV stabilizers are also considered. So we have to mention in detail regarding the antioxidants and stabilizers. Then next important point is antistatic agents and curing agents. So here regarding the antistatic agents, the charge developed to minimize that developed charge, we have to use the antistatic agents, some organic compounds like quaternary ammonium salts, or we can also use the some acetates or glycerol or glycerin as a antistatic agents to remove the static charge. And regarding the curing agents, here we can consider the examples like epoxy resins. These are used as a curing agents. So on this topic, question may be asked for 5 marks. And similarly, one more question is also asked on this topic. Diastasis act as a antistatic agents or diastasis act as a curing agents in the MCQ for the 5th question. So this is the important point, antistatic and curing agents. So this is regarding the unit 2nd. Then unit 3rd, basics of quantum chemistry. So here first of all here we consider the distinguish between classical mechanics and the quantum mechanics. So in case of classical mechanics, we consider the macromolecules, and in quantum mechanics we consider the micromolecules. Then again regarding this, what are the limitations of classical mechanics or the quantum mechanics are also considered. Then other point is here Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. So regarding this Heisenberg's uncertainty principle, here we have to mention delta x which is greater than or equal to h upon 4 pi, and then we have to again mention the terms involved in the Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. Then next point is Schrodinger's time independent wave equation. So in this Schrodinger's time independent wave equation, we have to mention only the equation, and there is no requirement of the its expression. Expression is not considered, only equation we have to consider. And again we have to mention the significance of the Schrodinger's time independent wave equation. That means what are the different terms involved in it, we have to mention in this question. So again here question may be asked regarding this, what is the Schrodinger's time independent equation and what are its significance, or what are the terms involved in it. Then next is the concept of wave particle dualism and de Broglie's equations. This is also one more point. And then next important point is postulates of quantum mechanics. So in these postulates, we have to consider the three postulates: the wave function, concept of wave function, then similarly the concept of operator, then third is the concept of eigenvalue and eigenfunction. These are some postulates of quantum mechanics. So again here question may be asked regarding this for 5 marks, postulates of the quantum mechanics. Then one more important point is here the eigenfunction and eigenvalue. So regarding this, you have to given the two problems and two problems for the 5 marks, and in that we have to mention, we have to find out its eigenfunction and eigenvalue for the 5 marks. Two examples are given. Then in the unit 3rd, one more chapter is given, renewable energy resources. So in that the major source is considered is solar energy. So in the solar energy, we have to mention the principle, that is the solar energy works on the principle of photovoltaic effect. So we can say photo means light and voltaic means conversion. So conversion of light or sunlight into the electrical energy, this is nothing but the photovoltaic effect. Then during the photovoltaic effect, we have difference between conductors, semiconductors and insulators based on its energy gap. When there is large energy gap, we can say when the forbidden energy gap is more than 15 electron volt, then these are considered as the insulators. In case of conductors, the forbidden energy gap between the valence band and conduction band is 0. So these materials are act as the conductors. And regarding the semiconductors, when the forbidden energy gap is in between 1 electron volt, then we can say these materials are act as the semiconductors. So regarding this, we consider silicon and other is the germanium. These materials are act as the semiconductors. So in that, again, we have to consider the N-type semiconductor and P-type semiconductor. So N-type semiconductor, regarding this, we consider the excess of electrons, and P-type semiconductor, in that we consider the excess of holes. And similarly, in N-type semiconductor, impurity is added from the 5th group, and in case of the P-type semiconductor, impurity is added from the 3rd group. So again, one question is also asked regarding this. Explain the conductors, semiconductors and insulators, and which is again connected with the PN junction. So this PN junction is made up from the P-type semiconductor and the N-type semiconductor, and which is the most important part in the silicon solar cell. So in the silicon solar cell, to convert the light energy or solar energy into the electrical energy, the important part is the PN junction. Then other point is construction and working of silicon solar cell. So regarding this silicon solar cell, we have to mention the different parts like encapsulate, then we can say the contact grids, the anti-reflective coating, then N-type silicon, P-type silicon and the back contact. So we have to mention the schematic diagram regarding the silicon solar cell. And again, here we have to consider the different parts involved in it. Then again, one more important point is what are the advantages of hydrogen as a universal energy medium. So regarding this, we have to consider the 6 points why the hydrogen is considered as a universal energy medium. So we can say this is obtained from the most abundant source, that is water, and it is also act as an energy carrier, or we can also store the energy with the help of hydrogen. So this is also important point. On the basis of renewable energy resources, there are only 3 questions. First is the what is the principle of solar energy, solar cells, and explain with the help of semiconductors or PN junction. And next is the explain the construction and working of silicon solar cell. And then third question is what are the advantages of hydrogen as a universal energy medium. Then unit 4 is nuclear magnetic resonance spectroscopy. So regarding this NMR spectroscopy, we have to first of all consider the 3 rules to predict the nuclear spin. So rule first indicate when even number of protons and neutrons that having the 0 spin, and some examples are considered like carbon 612, which having the even number of protons and even number of neutrons. Then rule second, odd number of protons and odd number of neutrons that having the integral spin or spin number is 1. So regarding this, we can consider the different examples like boron is there. Then rule third, either number of protons or neutrons is odd, or we can say the vice versa, and in that case we get the half integral spin. So here we consider the hydrogen H1 spectra or carbon 13 that having the odd number of protons and even number of neutrons. So here we get the half integral spin, and again here we can say these molecules show the NMR spectra. So we also consider the proton magnetic resonance spectroscopy. So in that, the important point is nuclear relaxation processes. So there are 2 types of process: spin-spin relaxation and spin lattice relaxation. So regarding this spin-spin relaxation, we can consider when that nuclear transfer its excess energy to the neighboring nuclei. This is nothing but the spin-spin relaxation. And in case of spin lattice relaxation, the nuclear transfer its energy to the neighboring lattice. So it is also considered the spin lattice relaxation. So on this topic, nuclear relaxation process question asked for the 5 marks. Then another important point is NMR spectrometer. So here we have to mention the instrumentation of the NMR spectrometer. In that we can consider these are the some important points, important parts of this NMR spectrometer. So we can say the strong magnet we have to use. Then similarly, SIP coils are there to vary the magnetic field. Again, radio frequency transmitter is also used. Then again here radio frequency receiver and amplifier, and then recorder and readout system. So in the NMR, we have to consider we have to vary the magnetic field and fix the frequency, or we can perform the vice versa by varying the frequency and keeping constant as a magnetic field. But in general, we can perform we can vary the magnetic field and we can fix the frequency. So this is also important points regarding the NMR spectrometer. Then similarly, another is the ESR spectrometer. So in the ESR spectrometer, electron spin resonance spectrometer, here we consider in the NMR we have to use the radio waves, and in case of the ESR spectrometer, we have to use the microwave radiations. So this is a major difference. And similarly, in case of the electron spin resonance spectroscopy, that electron having the unpaired, that is the unpaired electron required in the ESR, or we can say that is in the paramagnetic form. Only single electron is considered in the electron spin spectrometer. Then here the different parts regarding the ESR spectrometer are source of micro radiation, that is klystron tube or klystron gun. Then crystal detector is also there. Then sample cell cavity. Here again, the sample cell which is placed in between the two strong magnets. Then modular is also used to change the that micro radiations. Then recorder is also considered, and phase sensitive detector is used in the ESR spectrometer. Then again, in the same point, we have to consider the some applications of ESR, electron spin resonance spectroscopy. Then we can consider the different applications in the food science, medicine, in the chemistry to determine the structures, or in the biochemistry, similarly in the biology, pharmacology, and in also the detection of irradiated food. These are the some applications. Then in case of the again, another important point is here, hyperfine splitting and ESR spectrum of hydrogen and deuterium. This is also important point. On this, the 100% question will be asked in the examination. What is meant by the hyperfine splitting, and explain the ESR spectrum of hydrogen and deuterium. So regarding this here, in case of hydrogen, we get the 2 peaks, and in case of deuterium, we get the 3 peaks. So here, this is particularly calculated by considering its spin number. So in case of hydrogen, we get the half integral spin. So we have to use the rule, that is 2i plus 1. And in case of deuterium, here we get the integral spin. So again, here we have to use the rule 2i plus 1, and from that we can calculate the spin. Regarding hydrogen, we get the plus 1 up and minus 1 up. And in case of deuterium, we get the plus 1, 0, and minus 1. And we get the 3 peaks regarding the ESR spectrum of hydrogen and the deuterium. So these are the 4 units from our syllabus regarding the physical chemistry. In case of the question paper pattern, the question first is based on the first unit, that is electrochemistry. So in that we have to given the 6 questions. Out of 6 questions, we have to solve the 4 questions for 20 marks, and in that 2 or 3 problems are compulsory asked. So that based on the Debye limiting law, or that also based on the particularly that transference number. So on that topic, the problem may be asked. Then second question, again in that 6 questions are given. Out of 6, we have to solve the 4 questions for 20 marks, and in that 2 problems are given that particularly based on the viscosity or number average and weight average, molecular weight. Then third question, that based on the third unit, that is quantum chemistry and renewable energy resources. So in that same 6 questions are given, and in that we have to mention, in that we have to 2 problems are given that particularly based on the quantum chemistry. In the renewable energy resources, there is no problem. So only problems are based on the quantum chemistry. Then question 4, that again having the same pattern, 6 questions are given, and we have to solve the 4 questions. And the important point is here, in the question 4, there is no problem. All questions are theory questions in the NMR spectrometer. Then question 5, in that A capital that A is considered, A is related to the unit first, that is electrochemistry. In that, fill in the blanks with correct options provided. So MCQs are considered. So regarding this, we have to given the 8 questions. Out of 8, we have to solve the 5 questions. And in case of the B, that is unit second, polymers. So in that, we have to given the state whether the following statements are true or false. We have to given the 7 statements, and out of which we have to solve the 5 questions. Then in case of the C point, match the pairs are given that based on the quantum chemistry, that is unit third. And again here 8 questions are given, and out of which we have to solve the 5. Then D is related to the state whether the following statements are true or false regarding the NMR spectroscopy. Again here we have to given the 7 questions, and out of which we have to solve the 5 questions. So regarding the true false, here we have to mention the complete statement, and then after that we have to mention the statement is true or false. Sometimes we mention only the A true, B false, C true, whatever. So this is a wrong method. We have to completely mention the statement, and then after that we have to mention its answer. Then in case of the fill in the blanks, again here we have to mention the total statement, and whatever the answer for the fill in the blanks or MCQ. Again here we have to mention the underline to that word. Sometimes we mention only the answer, but it is a wrong method. Again here we have to mention the total sentence, and whatever answer we have to underline it. Then similarly, in the match the following, we have to write the number one by one, all the points given in the column A, and in front of the column B, we have to mention the answer. Again here, some students only mention the answers and not mentioning it column A. So due to that, we cannot identify the answer is for first point or second point. Then next is the again here the D is the true or false. So in that case also we have to consider the full statement, and then we have to mention the its answer. So this is all about the today's presentation regarding the physical chemistry paper first. So
Thank you, sir. Any question? Any question from student side? कोणाला काय प्रश्न विचारायचा असेल तर you can raise hand. There is a logo of reaction. You can click there and raise your hand if you have any question. Okay. I don't think anybody had any question. So our next lecture is also there, sir.
Yes.
On 5:15 for
Okay.
art faculty. So
Yes, sir.
I would like to thank Dr. Raverkar, sir, principal of our college, Sundara More College, for giving this opportunity or this facility to the student. Then I would like to extend my thanks to research person Jondare sir. Very informative and very nice presentation, sir. I'm sure that student will get benefited in near future.
Okay, thank you.
Then I would like to express my thanks towards the Mr. Gauri sir, HOD of our department, chemistry department, Kamre ma'am, Barkule sir for providing our technical support to us. Then all the students present over here, I would like to thank them also. Thank you.